Hi, this video is going to introduce integers and absolute value. So to start out with, let's review what natural numbers and whole numbers are. Natural numbers are the numbers that we count with, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. And whole numbers are the natural numbers with the addition of the number 0. Now, if we take the whole numbers and their opposites, we get the set of integers. Here we have the set of integers. We have the whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, and 3, and so forth, and then we have their opposites. And when we put them together, we get the set of integers. Now, the easiest way to look at integers is to look at them on the number line. You can see here that we have the negative integers, we have the positive integers, and then we have 0, which is neither positive or negative. Sometimes when we look at integers, we're interested in seeing how far a number is from 0 on the number line. For example, take a look at the number 3. The number 3 is 1, 2, 3 units away from 0, 3 units to the right of 0. We can look at another number, say -4, and that number is 4 units from 0, but they're 4 units to the left of 0. When we want to talk about the distance that a number is from 0, we call that the absolute value of the number. The absolute value of any number is the distance that that number is from 0 on the number line. Let's look at a couple examples here. Okay, here are a few examples. Before we do those, though, let's take a look at the symbols for absolute value. You have 2 vertical brackets, and then if you put your number, we're going to just put X in there for right now. Whatever you put inside is what you're taking the absolute value of. So let's look at the number 3. The absolute value of 3 tells us to go to the number line and see how far 3 is from 0. And you can see that it's 3 units. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. Now when we look at -7 and we count the units, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units from 0, so the absolute value is 7. Now when we talk about the absolute value of 0, we're seeing how far is 0 from 0. Well, the answer is 0, so the absolute value of 0 is 0. Now if I look at the absolute value of -124, it's clear off the end of our number line, but if you see the pattern, you can tell that the absolute value would be 124. Now I'm going to show you a little picture that might help you as you continue to study absolute value. It's a good visual. This is the absolute value bathtub. It works like a regular bathtub, only with numbers. So if I have a dirty kid and I put him into a bathtub, I would expect him to come out clean. And if I have a clean kid and I put him in a bathtub, I would expect him to come out clean, not come out dirty. Well, the absolute value bathtub works the same way. So let's take a look at how that works. Let's say that I have a number that I want to put into my absolute value bathtub. The number is -5. It goes into the bathtub, gets cleaned off, and comes out clean as a +5. I could take another number, let's call it a clean number. It's positive already, and the number I'm going to put in there is a +4. Now what comes out is going to be a +4 because it comes out clean, it went in clean, and came out clean. Okay, let's look at a couple different examples. Before we do that, though, I want to talk a little bit about the bathtub again. When you have a bathtub and you have little kids, you generally don't want to put 2 kids in the tub at one time because they're going to fight. So we're going to keep that analogy going, and we're going to look at a couple of these problems. Now, first of all, when I look at the absolute value of 7 minus 3, I've got two numbers in there. And if I put those two numbers, the 7 minus 3, into the bathtub together, I'm going to have trouble because they're going to fight. So we're going to have to take a look at what we could do to that first. So what we need to do is take that 7 minus 3 and get it down to a single number, because then we can put it in the bathtub. So now it looks like I need to find the absolute value of 4. Well, we've already shown that when you put 4 in the tub, you get a 4 out. So the absolute value of 7 minus 3 turns out to be 4. Let's look at this other problem. It looks like I have two numbers that are by themselves in absolute value brackets, so they're ready to go into the bathtub. So I'll take the negative 11, put it in the tub, and out comes a positive 11. And then I can take the negative 2, put it in the tub, and it comes out as a positive 2. And what I'm told to do is to subtract those, and I get 11 minus 2 equals 9. So remember, never put anything into the absolute value tub unless it's a single number within the absolute value brackets. Okay, the last thing I want to do is talk about comparing numbers and how we can compare numbers using the number line. Now, the first set of numbers, a 4 and a 7, we know that 4 is less than 7 or 7 is greater than 4, so we draw the symbol to say that 4 is less than 7. Now, if I look on the number line, I can see where 4 is, and I can see where 7 is. And the number that's on the left is the number that is less. So 4 is less than 7. Let's look at this next one. I've got negative 3 and I've got negative 8. The one on the left is the one that is less. It's smaller. So I would draw my inequality. It always points at the smaller number. But when I read it, I read negative 3 is greater than negative 8. Here's the last example. I've got 2 and I've got negative 9. Negative 9 is to the left, so it's the number that's less than the other. So our inequality is going to point at the negative 9, and I've got 2 is greater than negative 9. Now, if you have a negative number and a positive number, the positive number is always going to be larger.